What's up, Astros fans? Welcome back. I know a lot of us heading into this season, we were all really high on Hunter Brown. And for any of those of you that weren't out there or had any reservations, I'm hoping after last night's start against Tampa Bay, put any of that to rest. The dude went 7 innings, striking out 8 and only walking 2 against the Tampa Bay Rays offense that led the league in almost every category statistically, along with the best record in baseball going into this series. Now, I do know that a lot of us had some reservations or some concerns about the back end of our rotation for the duration of the season. And I know that even though Hunter Brown was listed as our 5th starter, Dusty Baker and our GM Dana Brown do not see him as such. They look at him as just replacing Justin Verlander, just as we all expected. Even though we've seen the side-by-side comparison, as I've mentioned before, time and time again, and it's probably getting exhausting, and it might even be a pressure situation to most or to some, it doesn't appear to faze Hunter Brown whatsoever. Last night against Tampa Bay, as I said, the best offense in all of baseball, who had hit a home run in every game up into those last 2 games of the series against the Astros, he looked unfazed. The dude looked like he was ready for the moment and pitching as if this was the playoffs. He's made 5 starts this season, winning 3 of those starts, and he's posting a 2.37 ERA. But in all 5 starts, he's struck out at least 5. 3 of those, and in 3 of those wins, he's gotten at least 7 innings in those wins. The reason why I'm so high on Hunter Brown has nothing to do, statistically speaking, or the reason why he looks like Justin Verlander out there. But it has everything to do with his moxie and his makeup on the mound. The dude looks unrattled. He looks unfazed, and he looks ready for every moment in every situation, and it's never too big for him during this time. So I do know that when Lance McCullers comes back, this is going to put a lot of pressure on Dusty Baker as far as to decide if he wants to go with a 6-man rotation or if he's going to move somebody to the bullpen. Now, I'm not looking to have Hunter Brown go back to the bullpen. We saw him there last year, and he excelled, and he did really, really well. He made a name for himself, and that's part of the reason why he's on this roster right now. But I want to see him be a starter going forward. I don't want to see any hurdles or humps in the way, especially with Lance McCullers. We all love Lance, especially for everything that he's done for this team, for this community, on and off the field, for any of the dog rescue people out there. I'm big into that. He's a great, great Houston Astro. But with all of the injuries that keep coming up with Lance McCullers, is it really, at this time, should we let that hinder the performance and the possible future of one Hunter Brown? Now, we did last year look at a 6-man rotation as far as when the schedule lined up, and it was towards the end of the season, and I think that worked wonders, especially for an older guy and Justin Verlander towards the end of his career. I think this could work wonders for Lance McCullers whenever he comes back, and I think it can work wonders for some of our younger guys who are going to be stretched out and pitching longer because, like I said, Hunter Brown has only pitched 50 innings, 30 of those innings coming this season. So I think it would do great if Dusty Baker decided to figure out who in this 26-man roster is going to have to take that leap. I know that whenever Brantley comes back here next week and then Altuve coming up in another month, a couple guys on the offense, we're going to have make some tough decisions. But somebody in the bullpen, I'm going to have to make a tough decision when Lance McCullers comes back as well to decide where he falls in the rotation. I would lean heavy as far as going with a 6-man rotation, being able to stretch some of these young guys out and not putting as much pressure on Lance whenever he comes back as well on that elbow, and allow him to ease back into things. This would also provide an opportunity to see who going into the playoffs is going to excel for you. Who is going to be there ready to go when the playoffs come? The other reason why I'm so high on a 6-man rotation when Lance comes back is because I think it's ultimately going to breed competition. Even at the highest level, these guys still are going to feed off each other and want to continue to go out there and outpitch each other on a day-in, day-out basis. They don't want to be the guy out of the 6th man that lets the team down. If somebody goes out there the day before and pitches a one-hitter, the guy the next day is going to want to go out there and top him and do even better. You saw how that went a few seasons ago when we had Verlander and Cole and how they just fed off each other and ended up being 1 and 2 in the Cy Young race at the end of the season. I also think that by prolonging these guys and stretching them out, it will do wonders to where then they can ramp it up come playoff time. That's ultimately what this is all about. In my opinion right now, our three guys that we have already set up for the playoffs in Framber Valdez, Christian Javier, and Hunter Brown. That fourth spot is still to be decided between Garcia, Urquidy, and Lance McCullers when he comes back. I know Dusty Baker, he's going to really lean heavy on Lance, but I don't want to see that come with Hunter Brown falling out of the rotation or falling out of favor and ending up hurting him in the long run. So, Astros fans, let me know what you think. If the playoffs were to start today and Lance McCullers, if he were to come back and he were to be healthy, who would be your four guys that were to start if the playoffs were to start today? Let me know down in the comment section below. I look forward to the rest of the season. Go Astros.